Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I am so glad to have you guys on. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. Today's video is all about, I don't know if you can tell, but it is fall. Okay, so not quite fall. Technically, fall is first day of fall is September 22nd, but I am filming this actually on Labor Day weekend. So while everyone else is deciding to enjoy the last bit of summer, I'm ready for fall. So that's what we're gonna do. We're getting into the fall feelings and vibes, guys. Okay, so today I'm actually going to be talking about my fall TBR, and let's get into it. Let's jump right in about what are the books I want to read for fall. Hopefully I will get them all read, but we'll see. So let's jump in. Also, don't mind me enjoying all things fall. As you can tell, fall water bottle. Also have my fall little book sleeve here. Current read is Born of Gilded Mountains by Amanda Dykes. Very good book so far. Highly recommend. But anyway, let's get right into it. Okay, so also, if you noticed me looking off screen, I've got my list of fall TBR books over here on the side, so just don't mind me there. Okay, so my first book that I want to read this fall is called Wang's Unsolicited Advice to Murder. Probably many of you guys have already seen this book around, have heard of it. It'll be somewhere on the screen. And I recently, not recently, but a while ago, I was watching another influencer. Her name's Jess Conti, and she was either reading or listening to that book, and she said it was very good. And if you guys don't know me, I love murder mystery books or whodunit books, not like the serial killer murder mystery or like the thrillers. I'm not really into that. I want like more of a cozy mystery. So that is on my list, and this book follows Vera, and she owns a shop, and there's a murder that basically happens in her shop, and so she basically, obviously the authorities don't want her to get involved, but she gets involved, and it's supposed to be very comical and funny, so I'm excited to give it a go and give it a try. I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Next book on my list for my fall TBR is the Thursday Murders book club. If you guys have not already seen, it's going to be a Netflix movie or series. I'll put it somewhere on the screen, and it's obviously from this series, and it's supposed to be comical. It's basically a group of elderly people who work together to solve mysteries and murders that happen. So they like to talk about murders that have happened or mysteries that have happened. And then there's one that actually does happen, and they're all excited about it. And it just follows them coming together and trying to solve it. So it's supposed to be very interesting about, like, because typically when you see a murder mystery whodunit book, it's about someone someone younger, but this is like a group of elderly, so it's supposed to be fun. I'll let you guys know what I think. Also, let me know if you guys are gonna watch the Netflix series with it. Are you someone who's gonna read it first or watch it first? I'm always intrigued what people think, but personally, I'm on the bandwagon of always reading first and then watching it. So the next book in my fall TBR is the second book in the Shady Hollow series. The Shady Hollow series is a cute little cozy mystery book about these animals in this town, and there are these mysteries or murder that happens in the town, and they have to figure out what's going on. It's very cozy. It's very fall vibes, and it's just about cute little animals trying to solve this murder or this mystery. So I read the first one and I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4 stars and I loved it. So I'm excited to keep reading in the series. Next book on my fall TBR is called Sea of Tranquility. A novel by Emily St. John Mandel, and she is the best-selling author of The Glass Hotel and Station 11. So when fall comes around, I am pretty much reading fiction through the whole fall and winter. Summer and spring, I tend to read a little, some fiction, but also a lot of nonfiction. So this is a science fiction book actually, and I I want to say this is probably going to be my first science fiction book. Um, I'm not really into sci-fi movies. Like I don't particularly like sci-fi movies. I watch a couple, and but this is a new genre I want to explore. And I got this book at a book sale for very cheap, and it's like literally in brand new condition. And so I'm excited to try a sci-fi book this fall and see what it's about. This one is it sounds very interesting. I'll read the synopsis here. It says Edwin St. Andrew is 18 years old when he crosses the Atlantic by steamship. Exiled from polite English society following an ill-conceived diatribe at a dinner party, he enters the forest spellbound by the beauty of the Canadian wilderness and suddenly hears the notes of a violin echoing in an airship terminal, an experience that shocks him to his core. 2 centuries later, a famous writer named Olive Llewellyn is on a book tour. She's traveling all over Earth, but her home is the Second Moon Colony, a place of white stone, spired towers, and artificial beauty. Within the text of Olive's best-selling pandemic novel lies a strange passage. A man plays his violin for spare change in the echoing corridor of an airship terminal as the trees of a forest rise around him. When Gasbury Roberts, a hotel detective in the black-skied night city, is hired to investigate an anomaly in the North American wilderness, he uncovers a series of lives upended. The exiled son of an earl driven to madness, a writer trapped far from home as a pandemic rages Earth, and a childhood friend from the night city who, like Gasbury himself, has glimpsed the chance to do something extraordinary that will disrupt the timeline of the universe. A virtuoso performance that is as human tender as it is intellectually playful, Sea of Tranquility is a novel of time travel and metaphysics that precisely captures the reality of our current moment. So that sounds super interesting. Again, kind of my first dip in toe of sci-fi, so I'm excited to give it a go and give it a try. Let me know if you've read this book and you have liked it, or if you recommend it, or if there are other sci-fi books that I should get into. Recommend me some sci-fi books, guys. Okay, next book on my TBR is The Unmaking of June Farrow. This one I actually I follow Faith from BookTube, and she talks about this book a lot, that she loves it. And so I've actually read a little bit about it, and it sounds interesting to me. It sounds a bit like there's a lot of different genres, so genre bending, a little bit of magic realism, a little bit of a mystery. I know the story follows June, and I think there's some sort of she sees things and there's apparently a family curse or something to that effect. I'm kind of going in blind, which I'm actually excited about. Typically I research the heck out of a book I'm reading, but I've heard so many good things about the book, so I'm excited to just kind of go in blind and read it and see what it's about. Next book I plan on reading is the second book in the Emily Wilde series. I read the first one last year in the winter and I really liked it. Kind of helped me get back into like fantasy, and I liked the characters. I thought that their banter was so fun to read, but also just the world of fairies and the way that the author kind of writes about it. It's different from what I've read or experience in different movies or books growing up about fairies. It's a bit more dark and a bit more grim in some regards, but I actually kind of liked it. It was a bit different, and I enjoyed that it was different from the usual. So I'm excited to give it a go, and I'll let you guys know what I think. And also, this is just a little plug in to remind you that if you don't already follow me on Instagram, you should definitely do that, because that's kind of where I keep track and update you guys about what I'm currently reading and whether I give a book of 5 stars or 4 or another rating. So many of you guys already know that I love historical fiction. That's like one of my favorite genres. And during the fall and winter, I read a lot of historical fiction just because I find that time it's appropriate for the time in which these events took place during World War II, happened a lot in the fall and the winter months. So it's no surprise that I am reading The Last Bookshop in London by Madeline Martin. And so I've actually read another book by Madeline Martin. I will put it up on the screen, that book that I read, and her writing was so good. Also the storytelling, the characters, they were so well written. And so it's no surprise that I'm going to read another book of hers this fall. And so the last bookshop in London is about precisely that. I'll read the back here. It says August 1939. London prepares for war as Hitler's forces sweep across Europe. Grace Bennet has always dreamed of moving to the city, but the bunkers and drawn curtains that she finds on her arrival are not what she expected, as she certainly never imagined she'd wind up working at Primrose Hill, a dusty old bookshop nestled in the heart of London. Through blackouts and air raids, as the blitz intensifies, Grace discovers the power of storytelling to unite her community in ways she never dreamed, a force that triumphs over even the darkest nights of the war. So, honestly, her books are always very well researched. It's why I like her historical fiction books. But I'm excited, anything to do with bookshops and the World War II. I love this book so much. So I'm excited to read this. The last book on my fall TBR is a recent purchase of mine. It is called Autumn by the Sea by Melissa Tagg. And so honestly, I have been trying to find like the fall cozy vibes. And Amanda Dykes, she talked about this book. I think they're both Christian fiction authors. So I think that's what this one is. But either way, I could not pass this up. I mean, it says Autumn by the Sea. Number one, I love the ocean and the sea. And number two, I love fall. So, like, this was a no-brainer. But I'll read you what the book says. It says, abandoned as a toddler, Sydney Rose has spent years wondering who she really is. Homesick for a life she never lived, when a private investigator crashes into her world, she finds herself heading to a tiny seaside town in Maine to meet a woman named Maggie, who's searching for the granddaughter she lost decades ago. If not for Maggie, Neil McKean might still be back in Scotland, bereft and alone. Instead, he has a full life in Muir Harbour with an adopted family he loves and a blueberry farm to run. But the farm is struggling, and strange occurrences have him concerned. Worse, Maggie's once again caught up in the past, convinced she's finally found her long-lost granddaughter. Worried for Maggie, Neil is suspicious of the city girl who shows up at the farm, but there's something about Sydney that tugs on him, drawing out secrets he never meant to share. While Neil grapples with the future of the farm, Sydney wrestles with a past that's messier than ever. Together, they're pulled into a mystery complete with a centuries-old legend, unexpected danger, and a love as deep and wild as the sea. Doesn't that sound amazing? Ugh, I'm excited to read this one. Well, friends, that is all the books on my fall TBR. Please let me know if there's a book on this list that you want to read as well, or if there's a book that you'd recommend for me to read during the fall. Now, there's so many more books I definitely want to add to my growing list of fall books, and that is also includes murder mysteries. You guys know that. So I've got to sprinkle in a Agatha Christie. Not sure which one yet, so maybe let me know which Agatha Christie book I should read for this spooky season that's also coming up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Share this with a book-loving, fall-loving friend. And also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. You'll see a lot more content there as well. But either way, friends, I want to wish you a happy start to the fall, and I can't wait. Make sure to celebrate it as well. So I can't wait to see you in the next video. I'll see you next time. Bye!